Hello and welcome to the channel, folks. Today we find ourselves in a car that we've not been in for a long time. This is the GTR. We're at the Tokyo 600. See, it's one of the more modern vehicles. Engine swapped. Carries a big monster engine. Full tune, it's in the region of 1,015 horsepower. Today we're going to have that tamed down to try and take on the World Touring Car 600. Tokyo Expressway to see if we can claim the mantle, see if we can be as fast as this car was in a standard guise with no engine swap. Let's take you through the settings. It contains the LS7 BRZ engine. It comes in at 599.94 pp with brake horsepower at 515 on sports medium tyres. Fully customizable suspension, everything default, nothing change. Fully customizable diff with the torque vectoring centre diff set to 3565. Downforce is set to 69 on the front, 280 which is everything on the rear, with a fully customizable ECU set to 70. Power restricted down to 71. Fully customizable transmission set to 320. That's the manual, not the racing, the manual. And we have racing slotted braking system with the racing brake pads. Brake controller which we can play with. Increased body rigidity installed. We've got the racing clutch and flywheel and the carbon prop shaft. Let's go and have a look in GT Auto. So, custom parts we have fitted on the front, the Type B splitter, Type B side skirts, nothing on the rear. Even though we own the Type A, we've not fitted it, we've taken it off. And the rear wing is the fully customizable high set with 20 end plates. Wheels are standard, we haven't done anything with them. They need to wear their racing items. Roll cage, we've got the Type C fitted. And others, front grille, it just removes the badge, so we didn't bother with that. We kept the badge because it's nice and pretty. Whether you know the race or not, this is normally starting wet. I'd describe it as moist. It's 12 laps. Settings will be assist, traction control 1, default ABS, everything else off except for counter steer, which we've got on strong. It's a 4-wheel drive car, we're grinding, probably need it, it's probably a bit overkill, but it'll keep the back in line and it'll give us a chance to grind, and it's easy. Controller settings, we're on a Fanatec DD Plus with the GT Extreme wheel. We're on Force Max Torque Feedback 7, Force Feedback Sensitivity 7. Let's dive straight in. I know you're eager to get on with it to see if this car has got what it takes. So, with the fuel map on 1, we're going to aim to get 6 laps out the tyres. Need to chase these guys down. What we do know is this car is seriously underpowered for the engine it's got in. We're just trying to find out whether this has got the mojo to get to the front. So we're catching them quite quickly. Gentry making good ground. He's looking to squeeze us out. We'll get past him. Mr. Haywood next on our hit list. We're braking at the 200. Try and get up behind Mr. Haywood and take him round the inside if we're stable enough. We're not. Check second gear there. We're doing alright. We're in 12th. Got the power down. Fuel is at 5.4, so we really need that to come back to give us 6 laps. If we hesitate on the throttle over a few corners, we might be able to just save a little bit of fuel. The Haywood taking the line to resist our aggression. Try not to force it round the outside. I can see us having a nightmare there. Gonna get him here though, won't we? Yes. That inside line and go. Mr. Grady next. Everybody knows he's Mr. Tidgney. You'll see him at the top of the leaderboards on the time trials and the World Championship Series. I'm going to brake on the 175 here. Now the car is quite delicate on its tyres. It's not really aggressive. We haven't got the front set to anything massive. We could go to 50-50 on the front and try and get the car to pull itself out of corners, but we'll seriously attack those tyres. We want them to last 6 laps. We'll take tyres at the 6th lap, I think. Looking at the fuel up 5.4, we're going to have 6.4 laps in total, so we'll just make sure we're going where we're going. Top speed. Keep that throat lubricated so we can keep talking. Into 8th place, Mr. Blazan, the Porsche next. Brake on the 200. Really want this car to be hitting 211s, 210s. It's going to be one of the top runners. It needs to be 208s, but Mr. Gallo has the fastest lap of 2:14.472. Our opening lap was a 2:26, and you know that because the time started when we started the race, not when we crossed the start line. 5 seconds up on that 2:14 by the looks of it. Nicely through there, chasing Mr. Beauvoir in 7th. I want to hit that wall. That the clean race bonus gone already. Maybe. Certainly dropped some time from brushing that wall. Get the inside line on Mr. Beauvoir. Got to avoid these puddles under braking, it can get a bit hairy. And Mr. Blazan next. Let's see if we can utilise some of his draft. Oh, we're going to be at 209. Or 2:10.2. Behind us, Mr. Beauvoir is pushing. 2:10.3. That's not too bad. That's a decent starter. It's a good fast car actually at that pace. Want to be a sub 26. I don't know if we are. Will be a sub 26 when we get to the end of the race. It's a decent car that does that. Braking on the 200. We weren't aggressively on the 200, it was probably more like the 175. We now chase down Mr. Hazal in the Road 22B. Certainly keeping the power down. Let's chase it. I don't think the game has changed massively. Update 1.49. It's not changed massively enough for this race to go off. It feels more competitive, the race, because the cars we're using. I've done a couple of other cars that you haven't seen so far, and I'm still working on the setups because they are really underpowered. They really haven't got the beans what it takes to get this race. That's the there's a couple of cars we've tried tonight that don't really want to cut it. So I'll not spoil it and tell you what they are. You'll just see them in later videos. Disappointed that they haven't had it straight off the bat, so take on the 175 again. Gaggle of 3. Let's see if we can shoot away up the inside there. And we just made it past Mr. Fraga. Gonna try and keep us honest. Mr. Hizal is moving. Look, he's taken those two round that hairpin. He actually overtook 2 cars. That's tremendous. Let's see if Cookabun will give us the draft. I don't know where we are in terms of faster lap. We're going to be a 2:09. No, we're going to be slower than the previous lap. We were held up at that last corner, so let's see if we can make progress. 5th place is pretty decent on lap 4. Now Gallo's going to be taken to the pits fairly soon, but we're only 11 seconds behind him. Means we're potentially on par for him with speed. The Armenia of Mr. Cookabun. Very impressive car. Very much capable of winning this race in my hands. All of these cars, the basic cars, win this race. We proved that last time out. That was the little grind series that we did. This one is more about new cars and other cars that have come to the game. We might do a few old ones. Might do a few engine swaps that weren't available back when we did this series. Oh, we're just going to try and keep that Armenia just penned in. But he just taps our right front wing just to keep us honest. We tried to make that pass. It wasn't successful. Now we're going to try and line him up for some aggression. Bump draft him. Got the faster line through there, but see if we can hustle him into this corner. Get the run off here. Brake on the 175, take the inside line, see if he turns in on us. Gonna try, and he does. He turns into our side door. Bit rude. Hizal we've caught, and Mr. Suswillow. See if Mr. Hizal gives Mr. Suswillow a push as he goes past. We're just losing the draft to those 2 guys. Don't think this will be any quicker than the previous lap. We're slower again, held up by the Armenia. Mr. Cookabun 11.6 behind Mr. Gallo. We're on to lap 5. Mr. Gallo should be pitting. I'll give you the rundown. Gallo first. Suswillow, you can see him in the distance in 2nd. Hizal just in front of us in 3rd. We're in 4th. Cookabun in 5th. He's really on our 6. He's gonna not give up. Braga in 6th. Beauvoir in 7th. Larzan in 8th, all of them very competitive. Slightly over brake there for that corner. We've got 2 laps of fuel remaining. But we're going to go in at the end of the next lap, not this one. And we're going to go all the way to the end. We know his Gallo has another pit stop to make. This car has clearly got what it takes to win this race. All it has to do is slide past these 2. Take the pit and then drive all the way to the end, and it's clean, easy victory. Try and go up the outside here, try and squeeze. Giving Hizal the opportunity to go past Suswillow. We'll try and capitalise on that as well. We'll just brake a tap and back out of it. Brake on the 175. The Armenia just aggressively tapped our back door, didn't he? Now Hizal's gone past Suswillow. Is Gallo going to the pits? He's gone in. We're now going to keep with these 2 guys. We're going to pit next lap. Gallo not yet taking fuel. Now he is. We're going to have to take a full tank and take new tyres. Going to take all the fuel. And we're just going to try and plough straight up the back of these guys. We're going to go to the outside line. We're going to brake on the 200. Pressure from Hizal on our back door just then. Now it must look good on the track, these two cars hooning around together. It must sound phenomenal. Let's see what we got with this car going into here. Two identical cars, I would suggest. Widdowmaker, that's us, holds the lap record, the 2:10.368. Forced into taking a slightly wider line there. Right, into the pits this lap. Just to avoid the curb that time. Don't know whether Mr. Suswillow is going to the pits this time. He's got very shiny red brakes. Whoa, didn't he just? They were glowing bright red. We're going to the pits, definitely. We're going to have to. I'm assuming he is too. Yeah, he's indicating up. So are we. Oh, straight in. Mediums. We didn't slow down at all. Brand new set of mediums. And we're going to take all the fuel. Suswillow's ahead of us on the fuel stakes. How much is he going to take? We're going to take all 6 laps. He stopped at 88%. We stopped at 98. He got the better jump out of us. Look, he's away. We're down to 10th place. Are we ahead of Braga? No. Are we ahead of Gallo? That's the question. We've got to catch up to Suswillow again. We've got to overtake him before the finish. Going to be somewhat of a race, isn't it? Have to save some fuel, I can tell you that. 36 seconds behind Kukabun in the Ari Armenia. He lost out to Hizal. Hizal got past him. Sorry, Kukabun got past Hizal. Wasn't looking like that, was it? Go. This is really where it's going to matter. Got to really put some hot stink laps in. We really need to be getting down into the 209s. Kukabun goes to the pits on 15%. Hizal goes on 2%. Be a decent effort by these two boys. Come on. Braga's gone in, so going to get the understanding of where Gallo is very soon. But still, Gallo's now in pole, so Gallo's got a pit again. He's 14 seconds ahead. There's a chance we could make this happen. We've just got to make sure we stay with Suswillow and pass him. So Hizal is going for another lap. And Hazal's just come out of the pits. So as it stands, Gallo in the lead, Yamanaka second, Kukabun third. Fourth is Suswillow, who's just flown past Hazal. We're in sixth, Fraga seventh, Solis in eighth. Things just a little bit out of kilter because of pit stops at the moment. But the position on the road is what you can see is the lead of the race. Gallo is going to be dropping back for another stop. I don't believe that's changed any strategy at all since with the update 1.49. I think it is what it is. Just made our way past there. That's beautifully threaded. What a great overtake. Absolutely knocked him off his socks. He had to give it up there. We were inside. That was a Max Verstappen move if ever I saw one, but it was clean. There was no rudeness about it. We just occupied the space of the road that he needed. It's a fourth place and we're going to go mighty quick lap. That was a great overtake through the tunnel. That was absolutely inch perfect for race line and for getting the power down. As we come charging through here, we're going to brake on the 175. That's the Arumini again of Mr. Kukabun ahead of us. We lost a little bit of time coming through there, we're a bit slow. But Gallo has the fastest lap, 2:08.758. That's a cheeky monkey lap, that is. We're 2:09.5. So we're going to have to go some way to beat Gallo here. 15 seconds in the lead. His last pit stop is going to be a short one. So we need to really go the great guns. 4.7 seconds behind Kukabun. You can see him at the front there. We're going to have to try and really close in on him. Really smooth off the brakes there. And let the car run round the corner rather than be on the brakes then on the throttle. That Yamanaka I saw just ahead. Going into that corner. It is. Both together, so that's going to give us the opportunity to make a nice snappy pass when it happens. Race is on between those two. They're going to hold each other up just a fraction. The purple is good. If we can make the jump on these two boys. 11 seconds now behind Gallo. We made gains through there, didn't we? Braking on the 175, 160. Both braked well later than me. Giving Yamanaka just a little bit of a bump draft, but he's then... So there's Gallo into the pits. He just needs those tyres. He doesn't need a massive amount of fuel. Let's see when he starts taking the fuel. There. Oh. 2 seconds behind Kukabun. 5 seconds ahead of Gallo and increasing. Laps 10, 11, 12 to go. We need to be on it here. Can't really afford to back off at all. Tyres are looking as good as they need to. I'm going to brake balance to the rear just a fraction. Just to try and take the weight off off the tyres at the front because the fronts look like they're wearing just a little bit. I missed the entry to that first corner, which is a shame. We've been driving this a little bit hard, but looks like we're going to need to. 9 seconds ahead of Suswillow, who's got ahead of Gallo. Is interesting. Now, Cookerbun, you're going to make us go to the outside. Now we're going to go inside. Oh, he just held it round. Short shifted, but try and get the line. We've got it. Brake on the 150. Some good racing here from the AI. Behind us, Suswillow and Gallo are battling. I'm looking to the back of the race now, looking for Gentry, seeing if he's in last place, and it looks like he is. Fastest lap of the race is Gallo's at 2:08.758. We're no closer. Please excuse me, I'll try and edit that out as much as I possibly can. But I'm still dying. Oh, we just got past Cookerbun then. 2 laps of fuel left, so we're on the dregs. Our personal best first split. Through that corner. I don't know if that's as fast as we could have been, but it feels like as fast as we should be. Just trying to eke out that lead over Cookerbun, because we don't see the gap now to the back to Suswillow and Gallo, but Suswillow is doing us a massive favour by keeping Gallo back. 1.4 seconds ahead of Cookerbun. Got to brake later into here. We're going to brake on the 150 and see what happens. Try and get inside those rubber strips that are on the floor. Going on to the last lap now. Really like this to be in the 209s, but I don't know where it's going to be. Might be a 210. We're just losing out to Cookerbun. Gallo's past Suswillow. It's going to be a nail, but it's a 10.4. Tyres have just started to drop off, haven't they? So lap 9 was our optimal there at 2:09.402. We're not going to get the fastest lap of the race. That's going to stay with Gallo. It's not going to be a sub 26. Which is disappointing. Gas off the brake and late onto the gas to try and get the car to roll round the corner. Just 1 second ahead of Cookerbun. Suswillow's back ahead of Gallo. It's a tremendous race behind us. It's as though, because we're driving the same car, he sees me as my teammate and he's defending my position for me. That's tremendous. Bit of gear shifting to get through there. Wanted the 3rd gear to give us the optimal drive through the corner. Missed the apex really there. smack the wall. 3.5 seconds ahead, it looks like. We've actually been able to keep ahead now. That was the biggest tap we had on the wall. Didn't pick up any damage, thankfully. Now we're charging for the line, half a lap of fuel left. We're on our way. 2.8 seconds in the lead. Suswillow's lost out to Gallo. Gallo's took it back. It looks there's a gap formed behind them. We haven't been able to lap anybody, but Cookabun's going to come in second. Gallo third. Suswillow fourth. Braga fifth. Izal sixth. Blazen seventh. Yamanaka eighth. And we take it with the engine swap R35 Nissan GTR. What an absolute trooper of a car. Whether it's technically an R35, that's to be up in the clouds, but it's a great looking machine. I'd own one if I had the opportunity. So it's a GTR 17 is the official classification. It doesn't make a 26 by half a second. Shame. But it's a decent car with the engine swap. It's a little bit pricey. Didn't get the fastest lap of the race either. Disappointments all round. Next big disappointment. No clean race bonus. Really hard to get now. Really hard to get. There you have it. And with that, folks, I'm going to leave you with the GTR, and we'll see you on the next one. All the best, folks. It's a great little car. Let's see how you get on with it. See you on the next one. All the best. Take care. Good night.